Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and as you can probably tell, we've gotten a little bit done on the base. We'll talk about what's going on. Keen has also released their newest patch, and we'll talk about that a little bit. First, we have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day and a terrific week thus far. Oh, so quite a bit is going on. So on Thursday, which is when I am recording this, Keen has released their newest patch. We are now in 1.194, I think. Oh, can't keep them all straight anymore. But so what's going on is they've actually released a new DLC. It is currently available on Steam. I think the retail price for it's $3.99 currently. And what it's doing is it's adding some block variants. Y'all have heard my stance on it. Don't shoot the messenger. But one of the things that they did add, and it is part of the DLC pack, is the new offset single door. One of the things that I like about it is that the block now accounts for the door travel. So you can actually see it does not extend past the edges of the block itself, where the block extends past the edges of the cube, or the cube that it occupies, but the doors do not protrude out of the block edge. So it's not bad. I like it. Now, one of the things that I noticed really quickly is there's a lovely door number. So you have a 01 here. It's a 02 here. I think it might be a typo. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be 01 on both sides, but it would be nice if that was like, actually, is that an LCD? No, it's not. Okay. It would have been nice if that was an LCD, so you could actually put your own labels on it, or if they took that out entirely, and allow you to have either a vertical or horizontal LCD actually mounted as part of the block, so we could do our own labeling. That would be really nice, actually. Okay, so what we have been working on. There are some other blocks, by the way. We'll go over those shortly. Bring you up to speed with what's going on in the build first. Since we went ahead and swapped that door out, I figured I'd show it to you. We now have the LCDs in here set up, so this one's actually showing us our cargo report, as well as how much cargo space is used. This one is showing us our docking status. Basically, we have two connectors on board. I wanted to be able to see what the status of those were. Also has the oxygen and hydrogen reporting on here, so we can see all of our vent statuses as well as our tank capacity. Oh, I've been using O2. Okay. Oh, but that's pretty much it for the blue ship. Well, the former blue ship. I forgot what we're calling this thing now. Everything else is pretty much what it was. For the base itself, okay, we've made some progress on the base. Alright, so when we were together last time, we went ahead and built out this lovely tower, which I still haven't welded up. Went ahead, put the windows in, we've got the doors in, and then we started working on what's going to be the gear garage. So let me bring you through here and show you what we've got going on here. So I had to make some decisions, and we were talking about welding some of this up, which we started doing. So we've got a good portion of this in here welded up. Lights on in here aren't going to do a whole lot for us right this second. Alright, so as you can see, we've gone ahead and figured out we're going to put some doors in. We're going to carry the doors through for two more towers, which we've already gone ahead and done the foundation works for. Got it all the way up to the crosswalk up there, so it's all tied together nicely. And then we have in here, went ahead and made a decision to have the area back here be a probably it's going to be like a kitchen area, like mess hall kind of thing. And then there will be habitation over on, probably on this side, which will carry through this hole. So we'll build out a little bit, basically out to the wall. We might extend it a little bit past that. I haven't decided yet. And then over here, I'm thinking about doing basically the same thing where we'll have a doorway here or maybe there. So we could do something like that. And that'll bring us into, I don't know, not a whole lot of room here. So we could do maybe storage, could be, I don't know. What do y'all think? Maybe habitation over here and habitation over there, or just go ahead and leave this be a solid wall. And what we could do is have maybe a passageway that comes back through here, and we could make that like battery storage or something. O2 generation, hydrogen generation, put some O2 generators back here, and then have that pipe out to the back where we're going to have the storage tanks. And so what I'm thinking for that, I'm going to bring this out a little bit. Say something like that. So if we go with the idea that that would be center line, so we'd be able to get one tank there, one tank there. Okay. Now, the reason why we're talking tanks, let's go ahead and turn that off. We're going to grab this. Is we now have a couple of options for tanks. So we have our, traditional oxygen tank, traditional hydrogen tank, which is, like that. But we now have a small hydrogen tank. Now these are actually available on both large grid and small grid builds. So basically we have a hydrogen tank that is now the size of the old oxygen tank. Just to give you an idea what that's going to look like. So I'm thinking we may do a couple of the large tanks for long-term storage. Maybe say like 6 or 7 of them. Basically we'll have 2 or 3 on each side. Take that out. And if we do the large tanks, I'm thinking we're actually going to side mount them and have it be something like this, where it'll be mounted up. Come on. Let's see here. If we go like so, what I'm thinking is we'll do something. Let's go. What I'd like to do is be able to get these up a little bit more. Like I would like the tanks to not take up quite so much room like they do. But it is what it is, and we will make it work. So, alright, so just not sure how I want to do this. Because see, like I said, I would really like to be able to build a framework around these to make supports. But I'm thinking we may be kind of stuck with the way we're doing it. Which is why I was thinking we might use these guys, but I think they only have connections on the end. So we could do something like this, where we have, say, a stack of these. So, we could do something like that where we'd end up with a stack of them. Or we could do them turn them vertically. Wow. Yeah, see, I'm not sure which way I want to take it. But, alright, so we're going to figure that out. We'll figure that out. But I'm thinking this is about where the tanks are going to reside. And if we do, what I may do is do, like I said, we may do large tank here, a large tank here on both sides. So that would give us 4 tanks, and then we take that up, like, say, 2 tanks on either side. So that'll give us 8 tanks. Or we can run them along the back of the building, which, given the way the builds have been going, that might not be a bad idea. That'll give us some detailing on the back or even on the sides. Because it might not be a bad idea to have the large tanks sitting out here. Let's see, if we did that, they have to come off of there. So it would basically be coming off of this space, which is fine. I could dig this out a little bit, but we basically would have tanks so you'd have tanks like this, or maybe even do something like that. That might not be bad. Because then what we can do with the tanks from here... I don't know if I actually have the plates for this, so I have to check. Oh, I do. Okay.
Energy low.
So what we do is we have these guys basically come down like so. Why did you turn? Ah. Alright, let's try that again. And so we'll end up with something like that. And then that can feed back here. Let's see. Because if we did that, and then go like that, and we bring these over. Do something from there, maybe. And then if we wanted to, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just laying out some ideas here, right? And then we bring you guys in like that. That'll give us another set of tanks over there. Well, because we'll have habitation over there. So then we would repeat that out, maybe. How about instead of that, if we went basically just bring those out, and we could have 8 of those.
Energy critical.
Let's go grab some power. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so up here we have the stairs laid out. It's a good time to bring you up here to the control tower. So flight operations is a thing. It is fully pressurized. Well, it can be pressurized. I don't have it set up for it right now. We're not piping oxygen in because it's not connected to the rest of the base. Hey, they changed the clear LCDs. Hold on a second. Let me get some power really quick so that we don't end up killing ourselves. That is interesting. I didn't notice that. Alright, so public content. So if we go text and images. So for those who are paying attention, you probably notice the UI is a little bit different. They've updated the font so everything's a little bit cleaner. The drop down boxes, as you can see, are a little bit better as far as showing you what's highlighted and what isn't. And overall, the system has been pretty good as far as like stability and just the general responsiveness. It's a little bit zippier than it used to be. Now, I was told there might be some new stuff here. So there's now a clear, which is good. So basically you can set it up to be just a true window now. What's this one? Oh, interesting. That might have been there before. Alright, let's check out some of these new posters. Alright, so we don't want the Trinity, so let's go ahead and remove that. Recruiting poster. Ah, that actually looks pretty good. It's cute. Well, you know, it's cute. Alright, let's get rid of you. Results-oriented science. Nice. Actually makes me want to build some drones now. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Now, these are all textures that are added as part of the DLC. So do keep that in mind. In deep space. So we're going to get rid of that one. Clang Cola. Taste that's out of this world. And we have a new spokesperson on the for the folks. That's pretty good. All right, Keen, I'll give you credit. If you guys made those, that's awesome. If somebody in the community made them, hey, even better. Martian coffee beans. Now, see, I think I've seen these before. Or at least this one. I'm fairly certain I've seen that in somebody's playthrough. That was pretty good, though. I'll give you credit. Looks good. Okay. So enough of the messing around with this stuff. And then that would be, you know, clear. Okay. Alright, so let's head back out. Apparently you are actually... Open up. There you go. You are actually where you need to be. Over here. We'll just go in here. It's fine. There we go. So we did go ahead and swap out some of the doors inside the base. And that is going to potentially cause me a little bit of heartache. Because now we've got these areas that are kind of recessed, which I'm fine with. But I would like to be able to adjust the corners a little bit. I don't know. But it does open up the space in here a little bit. So when you come through, you're not just tripping over stuff now. So I'm not going to complain too much. Overall, though, well done. I'm liking this stuff. Okay. Now, one of the blocks that I want to deal with, I'll show you these guys. We can actually plant dead engineers now. Which I may end up dropping a couple of these around just because. So yeah, but just showing you some of the options. So if you're doing set building, we now have set pieces as part of a core game. Oh. So yeah, I'll probably end up putting some of these around the base somewhere. Be neat. It would be nice if they were... Oh. They were animated in some way. Oh, look at that. We can stick them on the wall. Alright. That's a little gruesome. Let's, let's move on to other things. The other one is we now have a new antenna as well, which should be there. It's this beast. It is the antenna dish. Come on. Are you really not letting me? Interesting. Lets me add it there, but not off of the small menu. I have to click and drag it now. Okay. I'll show you what this thing looks like. Because this thing's actually kind of cool. Now, I was wanting it to have a base piece to it. Like, I would like to have had two different versions of this. I would like to have one that is basically the dish like we have. But I would also have liked to have had a version of it that had a mounting base that we'd be able to put things on that had all the rotors and everything already installed on it. So we'll have to figure out a way to use this. I haven't really played with this yet, so I'm not quite sure where all the mounting boxes might be. Looks like the only mounting point is right there. Wonder, can I flip this over? No, but if I do this, I can. There it goes. Just have to offset it enough. Okay. So yeah, the only place to mount this is directly at the back of that. Alright, we'll have to keep that in mind for future building. So what I'm going to be doing is I am actually going to be using that block. I will be using that block in the build. What I'm going to end up with is I'm thinking we will have a radar station on this, since we have medical over there, well, services building. We're going to have a hangar over here, which will have its own small habitation area in it. And then the question is do I want to do more of a base, like an actual base structure back here, or do I want to do it where we have, say, more of a dedicated habitation area over here? So that's what we're trying to figure out, what I want to do moving forward, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll put some thought into that. The hangar itself, I'm probably going to do kind of what I did with the one on down on the Earth build, where we'll have the vertical windows. I haven't decided yet, though. I am liking the way that the windows are working as part of the structure, and I think I'm going to continue that in this build, just like we did with the towers and such. So what we've done up here on the roof, and I apologize, I didn't get this welded up, I just ran out of time this week. It's been kind of a crazy week, as you probably know. And I've been doing a lot of stuff like that over there, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So we've gone ahead and pre-plumbed everything up here. Basically put in a bunch of the conveyor junctions, and we've got everything piped together. And what we're going to do is in the spaces down below, in the for the roof down below, we're going to do what we did for the, like I said, for the hangar on the Earth build, is we're going to end up using the walkway blocks, you know, to fill some of this in and to basically make this airtight. We do have a vent here in the hangar area. Oh, you know what we really need that we don't have yet? We don't have manufacturing, so I probably will do habitation where we'll have habitation and manufacturing together, because we've got, you know, some basic stuff over there. But I want a area that we can do like high volume processing, because we're going to do something with that. But I'm not going to talk about yet, but we will talk about that particular device here now. So we've gotten all of this in here. But basically what we're doing is we're just setting it up so that we're ready to put, when we're ready to do the build and get everything welded up, we'll have everything in place that we need in order to place the connectors inside. And then we've gone ahead and run a walkway all the way around, which comes out over here. So when you come up the stairs, you'll be able to come around. You can go into flight ops, or if you're one of the maintenance crew, you'll be able to come out here and do whatever work you need to. So it's being set up around the idea that if we have roof docking, basically you will hopefully will build ships that fit within the space, and you'll be able to basically walk out of the ship into, you know, the walkways here, and then walk down and get out and everything. And then this does wrap all the way around. And on this side, we have an area that I'm thinking is going to be probably like flight crew standby area. So this way, when you come in, you do whatever you need to do. If you need to go talk to flight ops, you'll head through the other door. You'll be able to come down, have residential space, and you know, just a place to relax. And then up here we'll have probably well, effectively, I want to say bunk beds, but it's probably going to be just a very, very cozy open quarters area. Something that'll have maybe like 4 or 5 beds in it, and you know, a shower head, and some just basic stuff like that. I mean, I even may put the. Well, actually, if we do that, we could do those being like, say, two head toilets for those who are not sure what I'm talking about, and then maybe, I mean, I guess we could even go those two. So if we did something like this, see, I'm thinking myself into corners already. Let's see here. I know, we'll get to the mining area, don't worry. So you'd have 2 bathrooms here. We'll do a, let's see, the wall goes there. So let's go 3 of these. And then we can do, let's do this. Did I grab the, yeah, I did. I grabbed the wrong block. Oh, I wanted that one. Okay. So we'll do that there. We can do that. We'll have a window here, just looking out into space, you know. And then in here we would be able that. This will carry out a bit. Everybody's not going to need to shower at the same time, so let's go. Maybe something like that. And then we can do another door like so. And we will the script on this one. And let's say we have those. So we would need showers facing that way. So it'd have to go, say, something like that. And then we'll do a walkway or something here, just to close that space off. And then we'll have a window here, right? Okay. And then it just comes down to basically piping things in so that we have everything that we need, like for O2 or whatever. Which should be fairly easy to do. So we would just run... I got rid of them. So there's a conveyor block there. We could run piping in this way. So basically have something like this. Vent here, vent here.
Energy low.
We would also have to do say there-ish, maybe? So if we did that and we said so I guess we could do something like that. Alright, turn that off. Alright, so we'll have an air vent here, which will pressurize this space. And we were talking about having something that went, you know, basically over on this side anyway. So maybe we'll do that. We'll have a walkway here-ish. Take you out. And yes, I know we're about to run out of O2 again. Alright. So if we do that, that'll leave that open. And what we'll be able to do here is something like this. Down to wherever we need it. There we go. So if we did... I know, I keep promising to take you over to show you the mine area.
Critical.
So if we did something like that. So you've got locker spaces here. And then I'm thinking maybe just run a few lockers down here. How about if we turn off the headlight for a second? Now I may put lockers back in here, I'm not sure yet. In fact, I am going to put lockers right there. You know, because you have to have a supply cabinet, you know, so they can come in and stock the toilets and as well as the bathing supplies, right? Alright, so if we do that, and we bring you out to there, maybe? and we just do something like this. You know, there's nothing saying that we can't do something else in here. Like, we don't have to have rows of racks. We could do, say, a bed,
No
desk,
energy.
bed, desk, etc. Oh, okay. But something, you know, something like that. Just giving you an idea of where my mind is right now with it. Alright, so that gave us enough. That will, come on. Yep. Then we'll be able to go over here. We'll get some health back really quick. It gets me out of the general building area so that I don't get sidetracked and keep going back and building more. So, and I did, when I swapped out the door, I did check by taking out the block that used to be up there and replacing it with a window. When that door is closed, this is actually airtight. Like, if we pressurize the whole room, close the door and then depressurize the outer room, this will hold an atmosphere. So, alright, let's go over and show you what we've got over here. Alright, so this is basically what took a good portion of my week. I think I spent, I don't know, a couple of hours just building that. And then once I built it, I spent another like hour or two hand shipping stone from the container over into the other warehouse until we had enough parts to basically build all of this out. It was not fun. It was very, very tedious. I ended up processing, I want to say, I think it was about 2 million stone by the time everything was said and done. At one point I had a backlog of stone in here of like 1.5 million units. Oh, so what that translates into is quite a lot of stuff got made. So we're back up to 108k, and this is after I think I burned through like close to 100k just making plates and such, miscellaneous parts, in order to get everything set up over here. Let's go ahead and move this stuff around here a little bit. Have anything else? No. Okay. So yeah, we're still up at like 30k now for silicon. We've got almost 20k nickel, ridiculous amounts of iron, gold and silver, the things that I haven't gone and mined yet, and we're now up to 235k gravel. So what we did, and the idea behind this is I went ahead and laid out basically a line of blocks from the tower straight back and started framing things in. And what we did is, to tie into the old system, is I took the elbow that was here out, put the conveyor junction in, and then basically piped it around this way. Now the reason I use the conveyor junction here is so that this gives me an area to do future expansion later. We have stuff up there that we can tack into as well, but this allows me, if I wanted to build something down here, like a small loading unloading area for surface vehicles, so you don't have to go all the way into the main gear hangar. This could be set up as just a quick ground-based dock. Very useful in multiplayer. So if you're doing something on, say, like the moon or even on Earth, we could actually relocate this entire thing to Earth or Mars or the new planet, which I am actually not in a position to go visit. So if you haven't noticed, some of the planet locations have changed. There is a 4th planet in the game now. But yeah, so basically you could relocate this to anywhere you wanted it in the game and have it set up so that if you've got multiplayer stuff going on, or even just running multiple bases and you've got, say, drones that you're using to go from point A to point B, you'd be able to set up an area for those vehicles to tie into the grid, load or unload as necessary, and then continue on your way. So just been trying to make things make sense, at least internal logic. But this also allowed me to set up a system to tie into, not only to feed into the hangar area, but also to tie into the additional towers. And then this way we don't have to run piping everywhere up there. We can run it down here. And then on this side it actually carries through. I just haven't run it from up top down here yet. And then it'll basically jump around here and continue through. But yeah, so that's the general idea. Alright, so this thing is a drilling array, as you can tell. And I'm in the process of upgrading it. I want to add a couple more drills to it. So right now the cross section is 7x7 drills, and we're going to take that out to 9x9, which will allow me to, excavate a lot more dirt. But it also let me get down into here. Turn that off, turn the lights on so you can see, where we have found a little bit of actual iron in this mix as well. So eventually, at some point, what I'm going to want to do is re-engineer that a little bit so that we can replace the head on it, because we've got this wonderful drill head here. What I'm thinking is that I may build something off to one side, latch that into the whole thing, and then we'll replace, basically add some pistons to it, and just basically modify this thing, upgrade it, get it at least one more piston is what I would like to put into this mix. But that's going to be a little bit of off-camera work, because it's going to require me to do a lot of trial and error and probably reloads. So, hey look, new planet. Alright, so yeah, we've also added a camera on this so you can see it from the operations area, and then a couple of spotlights. So as this whole thing drops, you can basically see what's going on. So if you're worried about excavating things, because we do have it set up so you can control it, not just turn them on and off, but actually control them as a weapon. Unknown container is over there. I'm not going to worry about it. But this is actually set up to be pressurized as well. And this is tied into the grid, so we can actually get O2 in here. So the idea is that you come in, if you're going to be in here for a little while, you're not sure what you're doing, you can pressurize the area. You have a report telling you how much material of each material type you have, how much cargo space is being used, and what time it is in the real world. So yes, it's about 11 p.m. my time, or 10 p.m. my time. All right. And like I said, the whole thing's pressurized, which is, something that I've been wanting to do much more of on my builds. Now you could end up making this smaller if you really wanted to, but I wanted to have the displays and still be able to see at least some of what's going on with the drill. And so what we did is we did set up the cameras and such, and just made it a little bit more useful. Now what I want to do is take this general design that we have. Let's head out for a second. And I will add this to the control bar at some point, but for now, I'm thinking I like the overall style of this build. And so what I'm thinking is we're going to add the ability for this to be a little bit more mobile. I'm kind of wanting to build something stupid. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is I'm thinking to put a rotor on this portion that's built into a frame that's mounted on the ground. And what that will allow me to do is basically we'll be able to move the control piece, the control tower, as we need to. Right? So it'd be basically it would swing around if we wanted to. Now the reason for this is because what I want to do, that's one item, that's one idea. The other idea is that we mount a piston with a merge block on it. And then we build a track system that takes us around wherever we need to go. So basically, if we wanted to relocate over there, we would build a system that we would tie into that basically we could swing around, get into this area, and then mine. I have some reference material to build from, because what I want to do is build a track that this thing exists on, and basically it'll be able to move down, up and down the track as needed. And the merge block, the piston, will be at, basically you just build a piston or a merge block where you need it, tie into the system. Once you're done, you disconnect it and move it on to the next area. So, it's that, or we build an actual mobile crane. And the mobile crane idea might not be bad, because then I can just move wherever I need it to. And we've pretty much already got the basics of it. I mean, it's pretty well established at that point. The only thing I would need to do is move this up a little bit. I basically need to move it up enough for one piston. Because the drills would actually be at about ground level. That could actually work. And then what we would do is have the system that it's built out to. Because basically I would replace one of those with an advanced rotor so it would pass through, so supplies could pass through. And we'd be able to swing that back around. Because if you put landing gear on it, it'll be able to latch, swing this around, deploy it. That could work. That actually could work really nicely. And then what we would do here is something like this. Let's go a little smaller. So we would basically take something like this to make it a little bit more stable and less finicky, I guess would be a way to say it. And like so. So something like this maybe. I'm kind of liking that, actually. We don't have to worry about it getting stuck on any of the pistons. It gives us a little bit more rigidity in the build itself. Yeah, I think we may have stumbled upon a good design accidentally. Yeah, I'm thinking that this would probably work really well. And then basically what we would do is say, grab an advanced, just grab the rotor. So we'd want advanced rotors. And we'd end up with it being like right here-ish. So this one, actually, let's go. Boop. So we remove that one and put in an advanced rotor there. Cut these blocks down. Probably do the half block here. Or even do blast doors. We could do blast door blocks there. That could work. That actually could work really well. And then basically what we'll do is for the space back here where everything's connected, this would all be light armor blocks, and then the front half to 2/3 would be heavy armor blocks and artificial mass blocks. Or actually, I don't know, would mass blocks be good? Because mass blocks I don't think really do anything in gravity anymore. I think they would only work in artificial gravity. Which, I mean, we could put a gravity generator on the vehicle too, so that, you know, and then set it up for, actually put 2 gravity generators on it, set it up so that it's pushing down at 2 Gs, just to add mass to it. Okay, I think we have an idea for next week. So, I am going to go ahead and call this one here. I'm going to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I do apologize for it being a little bit more scattered than usual. Like I said, it's been a long week, and there's a lot going on off camera that I'm trying to get done. But we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to keep building until we can build no more. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all for stopping in. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw that down in the section below. If you are not doing so already or are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be kept up to date when new content comes out, YouTube promises that they will sometimes remember to send you a message if you click that little bell looking icon, also known as the notification button. And you want to tell it to let you know when if you set it for all, if I do any channel updates in the community tab or anything like that, you'll get those updates as well. So it's a good way to keep up to date with what's going on around here and on the channel in general. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I want to thank you all again for stopping in. It's been a long day. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I hope you have a fantastic and safe weekend. And we'll see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Okay, a little bit more to do. Now I need to go play with it in that hangar for a couple of more hours.